Hi. Isn't this a fun place? That's a staghorn fern, and we tried to grow these in the conservatory back in the 80s, and we killed 2 of them. We were misting them and fussing with them, and and so when this was donated, I asked Joan, the woman who donated, how do you take care of it? And she said, you feed it banana peels. When Joan gave us this, I said, we'll take it if you'll tell me how to grow it. And she said, well, they like banana peels. So you might notice, I should have had a fresh one today, there's pieces of banana peel. Here's a dried up piece of banana peel. And the curators of the conservatory drape them over the base of the fronds. And I don't know, it must be the potassium in the banana peels or something that the plant really likes. What do you think it gets out of bananas?
The nutrients. We came up here to play at the park, and then we saw that there was free tours, so we came and checked it out. I liked it because it was very beautiful. I loved the plants. I loved learning about the history in the house. I would recommend this to my friends because of the nature and beauty.
The historical value of it, very interesting, and I think it's amazing to know what actually happened in this city. I never knew it would be this amazing inside. Before when I saw it, I never really thought of it very much, but it's beautiful in here.
Come to the Conservatory!
You are in the Bush Conservatory, and we are open to the public. The culmination of our 3-year campaign to raise funds and to restore the conservatory here in Bush's Pasture Park. The Bush family used this as a destination for their visitors. So we called it a conservatory. Miss Sally, as I said, used it as a greenhouse. This project is leading us in the direction of doing interpretive signage for the whole park. Because when we worked with our new interpretive signage program, we got to the front door of the conservatory, and we needed a new sign out in front of the conservatory. We thought, well, it needs to look like everything else looks in the park. We looked up and there was nothing else. So folks can walk through Bush's Pasture Park and not know what they're looking at. We had to do a lock. If someone got locked in, we had to have a one-motion release that they could get out. And so Paul, who works for facilities for the city, actually found an old, this is a 1940s base plate. He found old knobs, probably from about the early 70s, and drilled them to take a special lock so that we could have a single release and folks could get out. So you learn a lot.
Yeah,
stuff you didn't know you wanted to know. This was a Victorian farmstead. There was a huge vegetable garden, an ice house, a conservatory. There were steers in the pasture. Miss Sally churned her own butter and, had raw milk. And I mean, all those things were going on this farm. And that's what makes this place really unique, is that all of the farm outbuildings are still here. And according to Wallace K. Huntington, who's a landscape architect in Portland, who gives programs on the history of gardening and on historic properties in the valley, he wrote at one point in support of saving this conservatory back in the 70s that it was the only remaining farmstead in entirety in the whole Willamette Valley. So that makes this place pretty special. Plus, it's the second oldest conservatory west of the Rockies.
The Friends of Busch Gardens are modest in getting the word out about their work. It's phenomenal that they've been working in this park from the early 1980s on, and Bush's Pasture Park would be a very different place without them, especially in terms of the Conservatory, where they have taken that project under their wing and at great personal effort gone out and raised the money to make sure that the Conservatory is restored. I think for many years people think of the Bush House as being kind of the gem in the park, and really it's the Bush complex, and that's really important that people understand that the Bush Barn Art Center is literally in the former barn of the Bush family. The Conservatory is still being used the same way as it was when it was built in the early 1880s.